Welcome, everybody, to the Why Is This a Cartoon cast. I'm your host, Joey. With me is Tim and Chris.
Hello.
This is the pilot episode, which means you haven't heard us before. So what we do here is we take a look at animated adaptations and ask the essential question, why is this a cartoon? And guys, I think we started off with the best one, so it might be downhill from here.
Yeah.
We're talking about Hammerman from 1991, starring everybody's favorite pop rapper, MC Hammer.
Yeah, that was the guy with the fake nose, right?
Just right off the bat, I have to say this is the best cartoon we've watched so far for this program.
God. It hurts.
Right?
Did you finish the episode yet?
Yeah, I finished. I watched 3/4 of the way through it a second time.
Tim watched half the episode in his second tab in his browser, and he assumes he's going to wing it. So.
He came very prepared to the podcast.
Oh my God! Well, I can still remember it from when I was a kid.
Tim, what do you know about MC Hammer?
Well, he was a rapper. Well, he was a rapper, and he wore pants that could also be used as
Just
a
quick off the
device.
bat, what are your top 45 favorite MC Hammer songs?
I literally only know 2 of them. Why are you whispering at me? He's threatening me through whispers right now. I only literally know 2.
That's nobody's business but my own.
Okay, I only literally know 2, and everybody knows them. They're Too Legit to Quit, and the other one,
What's the other one?
Hammer Time.
No. That's the cartoon.
Oh yeah,
No, that's not right either. Hammerman is the show.
yeah. Wait, see, you got me confused now.
Help him out, Chris.
I do not recall.
What?
What the hell is it?
No, Too Legit to Quit was right.
Too Legit to Quit was right.
Pumps in a Bump, right?
Pumps in a Bump.
Yeah,
that
that's the
was
better one. That's the
from his
best
gangster
song.
rap phase in the 90s when he was trying to compete with the NWA.
Yep. And
He
that
was
is the better
fucking
song.
MC Hammer.
Yes, exactly.
He
was
rapped
MC
about
Hammer.
listening to your parents and going to school. How's he going to compete? Hey, listen to your parents or
Listen,
you'll die.
Nobody said it was a successful attempt.
Yeah.
He
That's
just
fair.
tried, and God bless him for it.
Whatever happened to him anyway?
MC Hammer famously wasted all of his money and went bankrupt. And now he doesn't do anything, I don't think.
I think he's a preacher now, isn't he?
Is
or
he?
he's a minister? Or
Is he preaching the gospel?
I think so.
That's Run DMC.
I think he's also part of this.
Well, that might be what he's up to. I don't know. He's definitely not here for us to interview him.
Yeah.
Although, based on how his career turned out, I think we probably had a shot at getting
I think
him.
I have $1 somewhere in my house. Probably get him for like
We all know
4
you don't
hours.
have $1 at your house.
Listen, that's what I'm doing this podcast for, because you promised me money.
No.
The
No,
check's
you
in the
can't.
mail.
You can't prove that anyway. The post-dated check is in the mail.
Oh, shit. Well, screw it. I'm already
Okay.
here.
So, I think it's safe to say that the height of MC Hammer's popularity was fall of 1991, because that's when this cartoon came
1991.
out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It sounds about right. Era of the Backstreet Boys and... Not Backstreet
No.
Boys. New Kids on the Block. Sorry.
So Hammerman was the cartoon.
Yes.
It ran from September to December 1991. 13 episodes were produced by Deke, who, as it turns out, created every single cartoon that we're going to talk about on this podcast.
Okay.
Good
Yeah.
for them.
Well, just about every cartoon. I'm sure there's going to be a couple, because I don't know if they did the Conan cartoon.
They definitely produced a lot of them.
Oh my god, yeah. They're like what was that company that did all the adaptations for video games for the NES? Oh god. No.
Yes, it was. It was
LNJ.
Yeah.
It was something like that. Or
Yes.
LJN.
LJN.
LJN with the little rainbow. You were.
So anyway, Hammerman.
Hammerman, sorry. Was there MC Hammer video game?
No.
What? Yes, there
You'll
was.
have to
Was
wait
there?
and listen to our video game podcast, Why Is This a Video Game, to hear about the MC Hammer video game.
That's a great idea, actually.
Stop it. We need to get this one off the ground first.
I know, but that's the best part. We have all this filler going on, so
So
that we can
Hammerman-
pad out the time.
Had 13 episodes from September to December 1991.
Mhm.
Most of them are now lost to the ether. They're considered lost media. The only 4 that exist are the one we watched, which is the pilot. I believe one was called Rapolian. One was called Wally's Wishes. And then there's a 4th episode somewhere. But we're here to talk about the first one, because that's presumably the best one.
Oh my god.
That's certainly the case for this show.
That's terrifying.
So let's get into it. What did you guys think about Hammerman?
I wrote down in my notes, terrible.
That's crazy, because I wrote down in my notes, Loved it.
If I had brought my notes with me, which I did write notes.
They didn't exist.
I
They
did.
are fake
If you look
notes.
in the margins, "Help me, please. I want to die" is written in there. And I believe it was more just because I'm cringing. I was cringing about the fact that I probably did enjoy that show as a child.
How could you hate anything that starts off on such a positive note with what might be the greatest theme song of all time?
God.
That theme song was just.
He definitely didn't write it. He did
Yeah.
not write that.
Here's the thing.
There's no way in hell.
The theme song for Hammerman, this happens to be the case for a lot of these cartoon adaptations. They tell the entire exposition in the theme
Oh
song,
my god.
but he chose to do it through a rap jingle.
That didn't rhyme 3/4 of the time.
Yeah, that's the issue. It's
What's that
performed by
rhyme?
MC Hammer. It's not written by MC Hammer.
Hell no.
Like him or not, he's a professional musician.
Yeah.
He would not put pencil to paper and put down. He put on the magical shoes. He's never uttered that phrase. MC Hammer doesn't voice himself in this cartoon, by the way,
No, he doesn't.
despite the fact that he's in every episode.
You
in the
think they
bookend
would have like
segments.
stopped and were like, "Hey, you got 5 minutes to record all the dialogue of your character for this episode?" I also want to point out that if you look at the animated MC Hammer, he's wearing glasses.
Yeah,
But MC Hammer doesn't wear glasses. You'd think they would change the glasses into sunglasses when he turns
just
the
because he
hammer.
has contact lenses on when he performs doesn't mean he
Oh
doesn't
my
wear
God.
glasses in his day-to-day life. But back to the theme song. It's about 1.5 minutes long, and it tells the story of Gramps and Jody, Gramps' granddaughter. And Gramps is a former superhero. He's Soul Man, and he gets his power from the shoes, right? Gramps is getting old, and he had to give up the fight. So they met a guy named Stanley.
Are you just gonna?
Yeah, you're just gonna do the theme song.
Yeah.
I wish I knew all the words.
It
I'm too
was
lazy to
so
Google it.
bad. It was so bad.
I think it's a great theme song.
It
And then
was-
Unironically, it's on my workout playlist right now.
and you said it was 1.5 minutes.
It's pretty
That-
long. It's way longer than it needs to be.
I wrote that down. I thought the song was just too long.
Well,
like
there's a lot of
explaining
exposition.
everything
the
that
thing is,
happened with
other
him
shows
trying
have
that
just as
those
long
shoes.
songs, but they don't drag like that son of a bitch does.
Yeah.
Okay, so anyway, but yeah, that's just so. After the theme song ends, we lead straight into.
Wait. Before we leave the theme song, which I never want to leave, I want to live inside the universe of the theme song.
Oh god!
because the
that's
theme
terrifying.
song has way better animation than this show.
It actually does. It's a relatively smooth 21 frames per second, I would say.
And then we jump into the cartoon, and no, we're actually not at the cartoon yet.
No,
It
we're
starts
at-
off with MC Hammer
with kids.
sitting on a green screen bench
Yep.
in the green screened Oaktown.
Oaktown. I thought it was O-Town.
No, it's Oaktown. MC Hammer's from
was-
Oakland.
Yeah. It
Oh.
was Oaktown.
He's a
It was
super dope
Oaktown.
homeboy from
I-
the Oaktown.
Yeah.
I've misheard it. Then.
You're obviously not as hip as we are.
That's fine.
You're not too legit to quit.
Peeing your pants.
You're so unlegit.
is cool.
Yeah.
Then consider me Miles Davis. Moving on. It goes. Yeah, he's sitting on the bench. It's poorly green screened. Kids doing.
I thought it was a decent green screen, considering it was 1991.
It was so-so, I would
Yeah.
say.
Either way,
I mean, the
he's sitting there
technology
on
wasn't
the
that
animated steps with these live action children. And he's talking about who likes graffiti. Yeah, I'm just like, ugh. He instantly reverses himself when the kids are like, "Oh no, we don't like."
Yeah,
graffiti.
everybody said no. He could have ended it right there. All the kids are like, "No, we don't like graffiti." He's like, "Well, it's okay sometimes." It's like, "No, it's not."
No, it's not really. Ugh, God, like, what are you trying to teach these children? That you're too legit.
Too legit to quit.
So in this opening, not only does he
just
give the kids
plowing right
mixed
along.
morals, he gives the kids mixed morals on the ideas of graffiti. He also spoils the plot of the episode.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like, oh, well, the graffiti comes alive. Oh no, I said it.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, man. Like, do you have that unprofessional? Purely unprofessional. And then,
And then
I
we
mean-
cut to commercial break.
oh yeah,
Can we talk about these commercials real quick?
they were a
They-
delightful relief.
They were probably better than the cartoon itself.
I think they were.
What was the first one? Was it the Cocoa Pebbles?
It was
Yeah.
Cocoa Pebbles, Flintstones, Star Trek, Cocoa Pebbles. Oh my God, I flashed right back.
The best thing about the Cocoa Pebbles commercial was that it had way better animation than a professional television show.
This is true.
It did.
Yeah.
It really did. It was just.
Also, for someone who's so famously bad with his money, you'd think he would have put a little more resources into the show.
And that's what I mean, like using himself as like A voice actor for I don't know.
Well, no. If he would have been a voice actor, he would have. I'm sure he would have demanded a large paycheck
from himself.
from Deke,
Yeah.
the Canadian American animation studio.
Oh, God. And that's the thing. Like, but I wish those people who worked on the theme song animation had worked on the show's animation. But
Yeah, what was it?
like,
They ran out of funding after the theme song.
I keep forgetting we're not recording what we're actually doing in real life here, so they can't see me moving my arms at 2 frames every 10 seconds. So,
It's brutal.
it is. It's really bad.
In the middle of the commercial breaks, it cut to Posse Philosophy. You guys remember that?
Oh my God. Well, don't it's bad when parents don't listen to me. Blah 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 blah. I'm thinking, yo, you're a damn kid. Your parents don't have to. Listen to you.
That reminded me a lot of like when they do that on Arthur. Now a word from us kids. I like riding bicycles. Gee, thanks.
Oh God, I have this.
The last commercial that I wanted to talk about was exercising your teeth.
Oh my
Oh,
God.
that was so disturbing.
You realize how old that commercial is? Like that's
was
one.
This is just some guy saying, chew on some celery and it'll exercise your teeth. Because I feel like the teeth are the most important muscles in the human body.
They aren't muscles.
Then how can we work them out? Exercise your femur.
I don't know, but I do know that commercial is about as old as the Do It Best store commercial. You know the We Love Saturday Morning Do It Best store commercial?
No.
You never seen that? Do you know what I'm talking about, Chris?
No.
The guy
I'm
with
not
the hat
100
on?
years old.
They still play it now.
No, they don't. Listen, we need to get back to the cartoon.
And not talk
Because
about
Yeah, we
your
can't
father?
keep talking about
it starts with
Okay,
the Soul
sorry.
Man, and he sings a song to the children about. It's called "Doing the Gramps."
Oh my God.
It's the hottest dance craze sweeping America.
Since the jitterbug. You have to admit, that was pretty fucking bad, wasn't it?
That was bad.
It was really
It was-
bad.
Was he
Like
supposed to be James Brown?
Yeah, like,
Was like that's supposed
No,
to be?
because he makes a James Brown reference.
but I
that's
think
what I
he's supposed to be
figured,
like
like,
a
he's-
caricature of something.
Well,
He's supposed to
he's
be-
Soul Man.
James Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he also name drops James Brown.
Because he's talking about himself in the third person.
No,
Yeah, 'cause
no.
It's James Brown.
It's James Brown.
I think it's James Brown.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Um,
turns out that the library's on fire.
yo, how did she know the library's on fire? She's on the other side of town. I think she had something to do with it. Right now.
I think she just had a police scanner in her house. Lots of people do.
She
it.
wasn't in her house. She was out front dancing.
Was she?
Yes.
I don't remember.
Dancing a victory over burning down the library and killing the white man or white woman in the library.
But she didn't kill anybody in the library because Hammerman comes to the rescue
Yeah, that do-gooder.
after those Three Stooges-esque firefighters.
Oh my God. I said let her rip, not let her drip. Oh, that was so funny. You know,
thought it
actually,
was
no. When I was 6, I thought I would have probably
I
thought it was
chuckled.
hilarious. Yeah.
What's Hammerman's superpower? What's his superpower?
All of them.
I have no clue.
He can do
Besides
whatever he wants.
wearing the shoes, and then musical notes come. And
He summons the musical notes.
And the musical notes can affect the physical attributes
He's-
of items.
So he's hip hop Aquaman.
Hip Hop Aquaman. Hip Aquaman?
Hip Aquaman.
Hip Aquaman. I like that.
I like that too. So that's his power. He uses the notes to possess the water tower and save the library.
Yeah, but he also flew over and got the librarian down off the thing.
He did.
He did.
As she was trying to fight the anthropomorphic fire droplets that
Yeah.
were chasing her on the flagpole.
Oh, yeah.
Is this a 1930s Disney cartoon is my question.
I wish it was.
Oh, it would have been animated a lot smoother.
So Hammerman jumps down and saves her. He's immediately chastised by Gramps for not saving her cool enough. He's like, if Soul Man would have saved her, he would have used a little more pizzazz.
I would have been like, bitch, if Soul Man were here, he could have done it. But guess
Sorry,
what?
I was busy saving her life. I didn't think about my dance moves at that point.
Yeah, I know, right? What an ungrateful douchebag. Well, I'm an old man and everything makes me angry. Blah, 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 blah. You know, like, no.
Can we talk about the Greek chorus that's a part of this cartoon?
Oh, I don't understand.
The two fly girls that
Just
background?
keep showing up.
Yeah.
singers.
I loved that. I thought that was great.
Do they show up through the entire series is my question. I
Yeah.
don't remember.
They do. They show up in the other episodes too. They jump in and out. And they're like, "Hey!"
Yeah, but at least, you know, I don't know. I liked the Greek goddess chorus thing
I liked it.
I liked it in Hercules. Not so much in this.
Well, I liked it in this. There were two '90s fly girls. It was like the start of do the right thing.
Oh yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
So after the daring library rescue, it cuts to Stanley in his streetwear,
Yeah.
and he's at the community center.
Yes, he is. Where children wouldn't eat if they weren't open.
Yeah, it does. It provides a very good service. It feeds the children of the Oak Town. We're also introduced to the rest of his crew. You guys remember that?
Oh my God.
Yep.
The guy with the red hair and the keyboard.
Ludwig.
Yeah. Oh.
And then there was the girl.
Yeah.
Who was the guy with the tuba?
Yeah, he was like
His
the
name
moose.
was. No, it was. I can't remember what his name was.
No, but his role was to just be the dumb guy of the group.
Oh, here's the tuba. Use the tuba. I'm a douchebag. Yeah, no. He had like friggin' nori weed hair.
Those were his exact words on the show too. What kind of kids program do we watch?
It was Canadian. It was
He was
partially Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It explains the animation.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna keep ragging on the animation through the entire thing because it's that like people need if all 4 people who listen to this podcast need to go and watch Hammerman. Sorry, all 4 people who watch this need to go on YouTube.
I like
and
that
watch
you're shooting
Hammerman.
for the stars. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah, every episode that's available is on YouTube. Episode 1 is the only one that's pure though.
Yeah.
The second and third episode are annotated over by somebody who was making jokes over the whole thing. It's called Hammerman the Annotated
I
Series.
saw it. It wasn't that funny.
And then the 4th episode online is overdubbed in Polish. So
Oh, now I want to
Nice.
watch
But
that.
the 4th
should've watched that
episode
one.
is awesome because, spoiler alert, Hammerman gets kidnapped and brainwashed by the trio of villains in this show. And it's all because the dog stole his shoes.
See, okay, so here's the thing.
I don't want to jump around. But at the end of the episode, at the end of every episode, Hammerman does like a G.I. Joe PSA thing. And at the end of that episode, he's like, sometimes pets don't behave, and we got to be nice to our pets. It's like, thanks, MC Hammer.
Meanwhile, Bob Barker asked us to cut the
I'm going to
balls
stop
off.
drowning my dogs now.
Yeah, right.
If only young Michael Vick had watched Hammerman.
Oh.
So much could have been
I'm
spared.
so glad we're doing current event jokes right now.
Yes, those 2007 current events.
When did we record this?
So we're at the community center, and Jodie is showing off her skills as an artist. Remember that awesome painting she did of a flame?
Yeah, let me put quotations up for you there, buddy. There you go. And then the Mario Brothers plumbing system that they have installed in the place.
Yeah, the pipe just kind of explodes.
I've never had a pipe just randomly explode, and I'm pretty sure nobody was shivering, so it wasn't the middle of winter.
And Jodie, that fucking
Spoiled
that
little...
selfish brat, she's like, look at my art. Don't fix the
People
leaking
were
pipe."
drowning. Did you see how high that water was? If that place had a basement, those people are fucking dead.
Yeah, so Jodie's all upset because nobody wants to look at her art. I think the subtext of this episode is support the arts, because look what happens to Jodie. Look what happened to a certain German fellow who was also told his art was no good. I mean, these things happen. We got to support the arts.
Are you saying that pretty soon Jodie's going to be in front of a podium yelling and shaking her fist?
She definitely brought giant monsters to life.
No. The supervillain in this episode, and I use that term very loosely.
Hey, he was a supervillain.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
We're getting ahead of
Let's not reveal the name.
We're getting ahead of
just
ourselves.
because the name makes this entire podcast worth listening to. You know, let's just call him the villain the entire time, and then at the very end we'll say what his name was.
I'm not gonna be able to
resist.
I'm not gonna be able
saying,
to
You
resist
have to
myself.
you have to say his name.
It's amazing.
Because it is terrible.
Can we say it backwards? We might
I could
banish him.
barely say it forward.
I didn't even hear it when I listened to it. I wrote down I just said mobster. I couldn't hear what the hell.
You didn't hear his name.
I didn't hear his name.
You don't know his
until
name to this day.
Till
Oh my
you guys
God.
said it when we got here.
Oh, it's bad.
Defacely Marmeister.
What kind of name is that?
His evil scheme is to take all the graffiti around Oaktown and turn it alive with his magical spray. And he's gonna use those monsters to take over Oaktown.
Yeah, what was the name of his lackey?
Lackey.
It was Lackey.
Yeah,
His lackey's
Lackey
name
was
was Lackey.
Lackey.
Yeah, who made minimum wage. Yeah. which back in '91 was like $1.75 an hour. But that would buy you a shiny new car.
So Jody runs off after she's shunned for her artwork.
You know, even though everybody was drowning to death, that's fine.
And she runs into some little degenerate kid spray painting the wall.
With Joker.
Yes.
That was his name.
That was his
Joker.
name. That was his handle.
Which, did anybody else catch up on this? The guy's name was Joker, the redheaded kid. And oddly enough, the villain in this show was dressed like the Joker.
Well, like
Was
cross
he-
between the
he
Joker
He had a
and the
wizard's
Scarecrow.
hat.
Yeah. He looked like,
A witch. A very badly drawn Halloween witch. That's what he looked like.
and the Joker.
Okay.
He
I'll
looked
take
like
that.
He looked like the Joker from Batman.
Okay.
The animated series.
Oh.
The good Joker, you mean Mark Hamill. Yeah.
Yeah, that
He
one.
definitely didn't look like Jack Nicholson.
No. He didn't have a beer in his hand.
So Joker teaches Jody the fine art of graffito tagging.
Yeah.
And you know what? For her first time, she's able to recreate that painting of a fire pretty well.
I want to point out, she knew the library was on fire without being there, and all of a sudden she's painting pictures of fire. I think we got a firebug on our hands.
I'm more
You think
impressed.
she's a pyromaniac?
Yeah.
She worked very hard on the painting in the community center. She was able to recreate it super quick.
It was a picture of fire.
She's a
It's
great artist.
3 effing colors.
She's a great artist. And
You like
she
how I
only
go
used
from
2
censoring
colors.
myself to just actually outright saying fuck?
I think she only used 2 colors.
What the H, man? Yeah, she used 2 whole colors. How long does it... I could draw fire right now.
So she's peer pressured
No, I
into the
can't.
graffiti.
Yeah.
And I have in my notes Batman word actions. Did you guys see those?
Oh, yeah.
Every
yeah.
time something would happen, there'd be
Oh,
like a
yeah.
word.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it would show up, but like I'm sorry, but it's you don't need to do that when you only have when you only paid for 3 cells animation.
But it was
for 5
like
minutes.
they weren't even. It wasn't even during a fight. It was just like grab this, and like when she sprayed on the can, it did it too.
It said spray,
Yeah.
or something like that, and
Yeah.
and sploosh and things like that, and it was just like I'm like that's not even
Kapow.
yeah.
So then we're finally introduced to the villain, Defacely Marmeister.
The Facely Master. Hello, kids.
Yeah,
He sounded like the Joker, too.
he is.
a Joker ripoff.
This guy was not good enough to be on Captain Planet, and that's how he ended up on this show.
Yeah. I don't even think he was good enough to be a monster of the week on Scooby Doo.
He's not even good enough to be on the Toxic Crusaders, which was
You-
already a step down
You
from Captain
shut
Planet.
your whore mouth right now.
Yeah, so his plan is to encourage all the little kids to tag up Oaktown, and then he's gonna bring it to life and use the monsters to do his evil bidding. I think it's genius.
Just steal everything.
I think it's genius.
It's literally just steal everything. Like, did you notice the armored car? What was the armored car shaped like? What was the armored car shaped like?
What was the armored car shaped
A
like?
fucking piggy bank.
Was it?
Yes. And then there was a
Oh,
store.
I'm thinking of earlier where he's got the truck, and he's like, "I have all of Oaktown's money in this one box truck."
Yeah, right?
It's like, oh, Oaktown going through some hard times.
Well, it's Oakland.
I just want to jump back to Stanley at the community center.
Okay, sure.
He's like, "Oh, it's the community center's flooding. How do we get this water out? Let me use my one bucket."
Yeah.
He's trying to bail it out like it's a fishing boat. He's got one bucket, and he's pushing the water out the window. Just open the door.
Yeah. Unless the doors are, like, raised up off the floor.
Why is the
somehow.
community center watertight?
Because it's an evacuation point, probably, for when the Oakland River floods.
Oakland's on a bay.
I've never been, so...
Yeah, we cut back to Defacely Marmeister and his evil plan. He definitely says at some point, "I love being a bad guy,"
Yes, he does. So he's
He's
a bad
pretty
guy
open
for being a
about it.
bad guy's sake, though.
which you have to appreciate.
Well, at least there's no Deus Ex Machina in this cartoon to stop him, like a pair of magical shoes or something. That talk.
Oh, can we talk about the magical shoes?
I think we need to talk about the magical
Why
shoes.
do they talk? Why is that necessary?
They're magical.
do they sound like this?
Yeah, these are magical soul shoes.
You think
and
they
they
would be
sound
like,
like
"Yo,
the
brother, what's going
dorkiest
on?"
dorks?
Like, you would think they would have, like, soul voices, like a little James Brown and a little, like, Rick James or something. I'm left shoe, bitch! You know?
yeah, they tried to turn the shoes into like the comic relief.
Like,
into the comic relief.
Wasn't there enough comic
fucking
relief
Scooby-Doo character
with the band people and the other guy? Like, was there not enough comic relief in the show for that? Like, did we need a pair of shoes that talk too?
I think they just threw everything at the wall and see what stuck.
Yeah.
And they're like,
Well,
I
unfortunately,
we
Not
need
your
talking
laces.
shoes because you know what? My shoes talk to me too.
yeah.
It's not enough that the shoes
No,
give you
they wrote
magical
random
powers.
ideas on
Yeah.
random objects, and unfortunately, they wrote all the ideas for this show on turds, so therefore they'll stick to the wall.
Listen, I
Wow.
thought there was some good setups and payoffs in this show. I thought the script was pretty tight.
What?
The script was pretty tight.
He didn't watch the same show as us.
I watched the show.
Well, I think he watched the show inebriated, so we watched it sober. So we were
that's-
pretty.
Yeah, you were drunk. That's
I
not
cannot
fair.
confirm or deny.
So look, everything's better when you're a little, inebriated. Look at
It's
this
been a few
podcast.
years.
So eventually, all the monsters are running wild in Oaktown, and somebody goes to call 911. You remember what happened? He didn't have money to dial 911.
Like, well, yeah, you're right.
He got rejected.
No, he dialed 911, but the thing hung up on him.
Yeah, because he didn't have the money. What kind of impoverished,
You still gotta
terrible?
pay your
All the
friggin'
money,
dime.
all the money in this town fits in a box truck. You have to pay to dial 911. Like this is third world Oaktown.
It is.
Have you ever seen pictures of Oakland? It's the third world. I don't mean that to anybody who lives out in Oakland. Yes, I do. I don't care about you. Anyway, I'm in Pennsylvania. Fight me.
So eventually, it gets to the point where Hammerman has been kidnapped.
Yeah, and he got
Well, no,
spray
no,
painted
no.
to the wall.
No, Stanley was
Stanley was kidnapped.
Yeah, and he loses
And he
his
didn't
shoes.
have his magical shoes because he got his bag mixed up with Ludwig's.
Yeah.
Because everybody has the same duffel bag.
That's right.
And obviously, a bag with one sandwich in it weighs the exact same as a bag with two shoes in it.
Listen, I just wanted one cutaway where Ludwig puts on the shoes and becomes Beethoven Man.
Oh, that would have been amazing.
I think that show would have been a little bit better.
That should have been.
That
That
would've
should have
been
been
a
the
better show.
resolution.
Yeah, Stanley is forever shunned for Beethoven Man, who came in and literally just Germaned the guy's ass to death.
So Stanley's kidnapped, and DeFacely Marmeister is spray painting him. I don't want to get racial, but he spray paints him white. I don't know.
Well, he's melting him with spray paint. That's actually pretty gruesome. That's hardcore.
And then as he's spray painting Stanley, he chimes in, "I love being bad."
Yeah.
He's very open about it, which
Yes.
I can appreciate. You got to own it.
He owns his craft.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all the graffiti that the kids have painted on these walls has been brought to life, also by the same magic spray.
Yeah.
So this magic spray is yet another Deus Ex Machina on the show.
It's just a really handy spray. It's a Swiss Army spray.
It's, yeah, much like he has with the Swiss Army shoes.
There's another line that I wanted to that I wrote down because I thought it was great. It's got to be DeFacely. One picture is worth 1,000 nerds.
Yes, that is the Facely.
I love that. This guy's a gem. He could have made it on Captain Planet in my book. I
So-
loved it.
After that, all the monsters are in town, like tearing shit up. And then Jody and Gramps go looking for Stanley, who has started singing Gramps' song in the basement. See, I did watch the episode. Believe me.
An hour before we started recording. That's okay.
No, I watched it once before, then I watched it again today. Actually, I watched it about halfway through today.
Well, what I'm curious about is, at that point, DeFacely already has all of Oaktown's money.
Why didn't he just leave?
Yeah. We're done
Yeah.
here.
Yeah.
He
Time to
has
go to
this,
San Francisco.
He has a
You'll
strange
finally afford the
connection to Oaktown. He has to stay.
He doesn't love it.
He doesn't love it, but he can't leave it.
That's like me and Hazleton.
It's like a bad relationship.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and reference my ex-wife.
Oh my goodness.
Or my roommate. Or my last 3 girlfriends. Or me and any women. Oh, I just made myself sad. Anyway,
How does Stanley break out of the spray paint?
he doesn't. Gramps and Jody find him from his terrible singing, and she sprays him with the reconstitution spray, and then he gets loose.
Okay.
They never actually show him getting loose from the wall, so I'm going to assume the reconstitution spray disables or opens or melts shackles.
Well, the spray paint doesn't hold
Why
up
not?
well because we find out it's water based. Because
Yeah.
the water tower is what saves the day.
Again,
Call back. That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. It was well written. It's
No,
it's a
it
tight
wasn't.
script. It's a tight script.
it wasn't. Oh my god.
I also have written down in my notes Bat Songnal.
What?
Bat Songnal. Like
I don't
somebody
remember that.
signaled. Maybe that's when he was singing Do the Gramps.
Yeah.
Okay.
maybe. Well, if they couldn't find Stanley, why didn't they look for the shoes and just have Gramps do it? I know he's
They
getting
couldn't
old.
find the shoes.
Shoes were gone.
They assumed that the shoes were with
Oh
Stanley.
yeah, Ludwig had them.
Yeah.
And he almost ate them. The sandwich.
He was hungry.
Yeah. I am very hungry. Apparently like food because I have a shock of red hair and a guitar.
There's also a moment
We
where
should
one of the
totally bring the
graffiti
guitar
monsters eats a sandwich.
Yeah, he eats his Ludwig's
Yeah.
sandwich after Stanley brings back the duffel bag.
Yeah. That's-
Ludwig's lunch.
The graffiti has no digestive system. He has no need for food. He's just being a jerk.
And he got paint all over that sandwich. You can see it. He's like, ew. And he's looking at it, stripping off the sandwich. Once again, told you I watched the actual show.
We believe you now, Tim.
Okay.
Halfway through, we believe you now.
It's about
I'm not
damn time.
convinced.
Your mother was
You
convinced
have to.
last night,
How about this? You have to draw it better, and then we'll be convinced.
Really? I thought you were guys going to give me a difficult challenge.
Ah,
Is the highlight of the episode
Can I use
when
my ass cheeks for this?
when Hammerman
Sure.
busts out in "You Can't Touch This"?
Oh my god. So yes. Okay, so that I will admit, when You Can't Touch This started playing, I got excited. I was like, oh my god, You Can't Touch This.
It was great.
I was like dancing and shit.
He was saving the day with the power of rhyme.
Yeah.
So that begs the question: does MC Hammer exist in universe?
Well, I believe Hammerman was singing it, so I don't think MC Hammer
Well-
exists. He created the music of MC Hammer in that universe because of
So why doesn't, if he has all these songs, why doesn't he just record them, release them as hit singles, and use that money to save the community center?
Well, because he doesn't have the power to Hammerman then.
He'll put the shoes on. He'll
But
put.
then
He can
Hammerman
tour
would
with
be
the
too
shoes
busy
on.
saving something.
He can tour with the shoes on.
Yeah, the shoes only save people. The
Yeah.
shoes can't make a career. Only for saving.
Where's that rule?
We're just gonna go ahead.
It's
and
in the
guess.
script, that 19 pages.
Is it written on the tongue next to the size?
Yeah.
It's right under the notes for me asking.
How
somebody to
convenient
kill
is
me.
it that Gramps and Stanley have the same shoe size?
Yeah,
Was
right?
that the determining factor in who could carry on the mantle of?
I mean, if Gramps was a 7.5 extra wide, I would have been set. I would have been the greatest. I would have been the whatever man. I would have become the painkiller.
The painkiller.
Yes.
Painkiller man.
Pain.
you would become grungy heavy metal man.
Yeah, but that means I could summon like bats and fire and Ozzy Osbourne.
No, it would just be music notes, but they'd be a lot
Cooler.
more jagged.
Yeah, they'd be like they'd look like Gibson Flying V's and shit.
Yeah.
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 And then we get a graffiti rainbow.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
that
that
what
was.
happens?
So is
yeah,
that
the-
permanent? Is that permanent?
No, the paint is not permanent because it's water based.
Oh, that's fair. So one day it'll rain and the rainbow will be gone. Then you'll get a real rainbow.
Why are the kids using water based paint to paint outside?
Well, I think the problem is the people who created the show have no concept of what mineral spirits are and how to actually remove paint. It's a fair point. The animators who painted the cells are probably going, "What the fuck is this all about?" You know?
There's no way the animators who were painting the cells bothered to care about what they were actually
Well, they were
doing.
too busy.
There was first of all, there was definitely only one guy, and he
was
did it
probably
in an
really hungry
afternoon.
for that bowl of rice that they were going to give him when they let him out of the basement. Yeah. Okay.
He would have eaten that painted on sandwich.
I'm sure if we look at the friggin' credits, the name might be Southeast Asian. Just saying. I mean, I'm not trying to be a racist here or anything. There, you write down a timestamp so you could remove that. Are we not going to accidentally be offensive?
1422, Tim makes racist comment.
At 14:22, Tim is off the podcast.
Oh, come on, not again.
So who really ends up saving the day? Because you could argue Hammerman, but the real hero here was the graffiti cop.
Yeah, the real
Jody spray paints a cop and makes it come to life.
But that teaches a lesson at the end that, hey, graffiti's okay as long as you paint cops.
Yeah.
I
But
can live with
also,
that.
what's the jurisdiction of the graffiti cop?
Well, the guy's name was, what was his name?
Whose name? The bad guy?
yeah.
The Facely Marmeister.
The Facely Marmeister.
It's going to be the name of my fantasy football team. Or like pub trivia.
Like our moment of zen at the end is all of us saying the Facely Marmeister together because I think that's delightful. The good, the bad, the ugly. Friends.
So
Anyway.
So everybody apologizes to Jody for not paying attention to her when they were trying to save the community center,
Yeah.
which was the bastion of the community. All the kids went there to eat, but sorry we didn't pay attention to you, Jody. We were trying to make sure kids ate.
Yeah,
So.
sorry, you weren't the most important thing on our minds.
The
Right.
moral of the
this
story
second.
is Jody's petty as fuck.
And she's a spoiled little bitch. Now, 13 episodes. You said.
There's 13 episodes of this.
The fact that they, it ran till December of 1991 and was canceled, right? Therefore, it was probably canceled the week of my birthday. Therefore, that was probably the greatest birthday present I've ever received in my life.
It probably just ran out of funding because it was definitely on a shoestring
Once again,
budget.
Yeah.
Still gonna keep with the greatest birthday present of my life. This
Happy
show,
birthday, Tim.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
But at the end of the episode, after the bad guys defeated, they all go off to clean the graffiti. But isn't it already gone?
Yeah, what
It's already off the walls.
Yeah.
Well, the rest of the graffiti. They didn't get all the
I'm
graffiti.
pretty sure the Facely Marmeister probably resurrected all of it.
Because there was a giant monster Joker tag too.
That turned into
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was
It
all.
was a dinosaur or whatever. So,
So we're gonna go clean the graffiti up. Oh look, there's no graffiti.
already done.
Let's all go smoke pot in the woods. I mean that's
No, they didn't go smoke pot in the woods. There's no woods in Oakland. It's the Bay.
Let's all go eat mushrooms down by the bay.
No.
Let's all go fishing.
Did you not pay attention to the MC Hammer PSA?
At the end of it,
Yeah.
I might not have made it that far. I might have actually not watched the PSA. I saw credits and I was so ecstatic.
The
I just closed
PSA
YouTube right there.
Was my favorite part of the episode. Hey kids, this is MC Hammer. I'm just letting you know, graffiti's okay sometimes, but it's gotta be on your own property. Don't graffiti other people's property.
That's right,
Can't
kids.
touch that. And that's the end of the episode.
Go outside your parents' house and then spray paint up all the walls on your own house.
Yeah, you own it, so draw all over your walls with
Yeah, it's
permanent
perfectly
marker or
fine. It's perfectly
whatever.
fine. Everybody else needs to use a piece of paper, as MC Hammer did say. I did see it actually. Now I remember because as soon as you said it,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, you fine? Rob, put it down on a piece of paper. It's like, well, some kids can't afford paper because the community center got flooded and they have nowhere to go to make art.
It's not graffiti if it's on a piece of paper.
Yeah, it's art if it's on paper.
So none of you guys watched the other episodes that were available.
Oh hell no!
I tapped out after this one.
Yeah, this
That was enough.
So
I
you
watched
got,
the MC Hammer music videos instead. They're a lot better.
Yeah.
so you guys don't know the story of Rapolian?
Rapolian was really short, and the entire point of that episode was not to make fun of short people.
Listen, the name of the episode is Rapolian. I want you guys to give me in one sentence what you think the episode is about.
I just gave you that.
What do you think, Chris?
I don't recall.
So here's the condensed version, no pun intended, of Rapolian, the second episode of Hammerman. Rapolian is a small man who has robot legs to make him seem taller, and then through some way he shrinks down the entire city of Oaktown with the help of a scientist.
Oh, scientist.
And
yes.
then the lesson at the end is to not make fun of people who are different. That's episode 2.
What the fuck?
It's a
Hold
great
on.
show.
What? Is the second episode better than the first episode?
This is me banging my head off of the
Well, to be fair, I only skimmed the other episodes, but I think it could have been.
Oh my god.
And then there's an episode where they try to steal all the shoes. The bad guy in that one, instead of laughing evilly, he says, "Chortle, chortle, chortle."
No.
You guys
No.
missed out on gems.
Oh,
You guys missed out on
no.
gems.
This is.
Ow, my soul. Why?
DeFacely Marmeister comes back. He's a part of this evil coalition of bad guys. It's great.
So they waited a whole 4 episodes before they had.
What
evil
I'm saying
coalition of
is the
previous
continuity
villains.
in Hammerman is right up there with Game of Thrones. That other nonsense.
Shut your whore mouth about Game of Thrones.
But yeah, that's Hammerman in a nutshell. I can't believe you guys didn't like it. I loved it.
I thought it was muff cabbage. Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
it wasn't good.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It wasn't the.
So
So answer me this then. Why is it a cartoon?
money.
Money.
Money?
Success.
I mean,
Bank
actually,
on-
to be
bank
fair,
on that MC
we've
Hammer
summed up
train.
the entire series of podcasts we're going to do by saying that. So let's put it this way: it was made into a cartoon. Yes, of course, for money, but because MC Hammer was at the peak of his popularity, and honestly, the producers at Deke were a bunch of deeks who thought they could use him in a blatant crash grab.
I think MC Hammer wanted to spread his message of joy to all the children, which is why he has the PSAs at the end of every episode. He knew they couldn't keep buying his albums forever because he was going to take that hard gangsta lean. So he wanted a show to teach kids, hey, don't make fun of people, don't graffiti, be nice to pets, all that kind of stuff.
I wish I could live in your world.
I think that's why.
I just want to go inside your head for like 1 minute, like just to see what it's like.
So as a continuation of that, Hammerman, does it deserve to be a cartoon?
No.
No.
What?
No.
2 no's.
He should have kept to his day job.
Yeah, he really should have.
Of
He
working
should've.
at the community center?
Yes.
Now, what they
Doing
could have
that.
done was they probably could have condensed this down into a 1-2 hour movie, entire series into a 2 hour movie, made it live action, made MC Hammer actually play MC Hammer, or Stanley and Hammerman. And we probably would have gotten one of those fond fever dream memory movies that we all have
He
from the 90s.
could have did this just as a music video for one of his songs.
Yeah.
Because it was close enough for the Too Legit to Quit video. It was almost like that.
They could have just made a song about how graffiti is sometimes bad.
Like he could have done an entire album
Yeah.
for kids. Like he could have done an NC Hammer.
I feel like most of his albums were entirely for kids.
You shut your
Except for
Except for
Pumps It a Bump.
Pumps and a Bump.
Pumps It a Bump.
Oh God. So no, it didn't deserve to be a cartoon. It really didn't. There's much better ideas how he could have gotten his message across and actually probably made money. Like I said, a live action MC Hammer movie for kids would have been like printing
would've
money.
been-
It would have been
yeah.
a license. It would have been a license to print money.
I disagree. I thought it was great.
So Tim, you were alive during this decade.
Yes, I was. Well, so are
I
you.
was- well, I was only 4. Did you have the MC Hammer doll?
The look of shame on my face says it all. Yes, I did. I had MC Hammer doll. I had Stretch Armstrong. I had Pound Puppies. I had all of this crap.
Was the MC Hammer doll a pull string type of deal?
It might have been.
I think it
don't-
was.
I never
It's been
had it.
so long. I'd have to dig through boxes. If I could find it in my parents' basement, tell you what, I'll let you play with it.
I would love that.
But
Was it like the same scale as the Pee Wee Herman doll?
I think
It
so.
was just
It
about,
was-
yeah,
yeah,
it
it
was
was
just
like a-
about.
That's awesome.
like
I
a
also
Barbie
had
doll,
those
but
wrestling
MC head.
buddies. Remember those wrestling buddy pillows that were like Hulk Hogan and all that, and it was just the pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah, that's-
Foreshadowing.
Oh God.
Future episodes.
Yeah. So that's what I mean. Like from remember, I did have one. I do remember this cartoon. It's just once again, until you said something about it. Until you said something about it, Joe, a few weeks ago when we were still in the planning stages, which technically I guess we're still in the planning stages now because we aren't going to get this nailed down for another few episodes. You fuck. Anyway, I thought that maybe it was like I said, a fever dream from when I was a kid.
Well, yeah, because who's gonna remember something that existed for 3 months when they were 7 years old? So
That's absolutely fair. I mean, like it's. I mean, Joe, how far off were you from being born at this point in 1991?
in September of 1991, I was 13 months away from being born.
Holy crap, you were a baby.
I wasn't around.
He wasn't around for half this shit we're going to be talking about.
I know, that's the thing. Like, you.
Well,
oh my
that's
God.
that's the exciting thing. I'm gonna be seeing it through fresh eyes.
So, like, we got 2 Generation Ys and a millennial here.
I reject that label.
Yeah, well, you are. He's a millennial. I mean, meanwhile, you were on the ass end of it, of course. Like,
yeah.
you were at the very because Reagan was still in office when you were born, right?
Yeah, 88.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was only at the end of his first term, so you know, Reagan's kids were the weird ones.
I was a Bush baby.
Yeah, you were a Bush baby. No, you
The
weren't.
first one.
You
The
were
first one.
What year were you born?
92.
No.
October. It was before the election.
So, yeah, he's
Yeah,
a Bush baby.
You
Bush
are
baby.
You're at tail end of Bush. You're almost a Clinton baby.
Yeah. Well, I was raised in the Clinton years, so.
I mean, there were thousands of Clinton babies on a certain blue dress, but let's not get into that.
I think we've said all we need to say about Hammerman and the MC Hammer cartoon.
I think so.
I thought
too.
it was great. Some people might have slightly varying opinions, but the only one that matters is mine.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's all we've got to say about the Hammerman cartoon. And before we go with this first episode, we like to end every episode with our own pitch for our own animated adaptations that could have fit in during this time in the 70s, 80s, or 90s with their cheaply produced animation and recycled plots. So, who wants to go first?
Go ahead, Chris.
I want to go last.
You want to go
guys-
last?
Yeah, you guys go.
Well, I actually suggested it earlier in the show, which was The Adventures of the Good, the Bad, the Ugly, and Friends. I think that would make an excellent 1970s poorly animated cartoon with a movie with a movie star a week.
Sort of like Gunsmoke the animated series or something.
In a way, but only with the man with no name, of course.
Well, my idea was Night Court in space.
Yep.
We join the whole crew. They travel around the galaxy, solving interstellar laws and getting into trouble.
Yeah, of course.
As only the Night Court gang could.
Yeah.
What do you got, Chris?
My pitch. Are you guys familiar with the movie Mac and Me?
Yes.
Oh yes.
I
Is it
watched
just an animated series of the kid in the wheelchair going off the cliff?
Did you? I want to
Get Paul
propose
Rudd to
this.
narrate it.
But I want to propose this because I watched this movie 2 weeks ago, and it is
Why did you watch this movie 2 weeks ago?
because it came out on Blu-ray and I bought it, and it is the most obscure movie, totally E.T. ripoff of all time. It was sponsored by Coke and McDonald's at the same time.
Yeah.
The alien in it, instead of liking Reese's Pieces like E.T. does, like Skittles, instead, there's a kid in a wheelchair in it who falls off a cliff, like Tim said.
And Paul
But-
Rudd showed us.
Did you guys know there's a Japanese version of the ending of that movie where the kid gets shot?
There's an alternate Japanese
Stop
take
right
of
now.
Mac and
Stop
Me.
right now because oddly enough, I think I might know exactly what you're talking about. Let me go to my.
Well, the question with that is, where does Mac and Me fit into the McDonald Land universe?
I don't know. But there is a dance scene that all takes place at McDonald's in that movie, which is
I
fantastic.
remember that.
That
I
was
remember the dance
fantastic.
scene.
So my pitch would have been two things you could have did. Just follow the aliens, the family of aliens in the movie. Have an animated show just about the aliens. They drive across the country.
I want an ET cameo.
E.T. cameo.
I want an Alf cameo.
in the background. They have to be in the background.
in the
like,
background.
just
They
the
can't
dumbest thing
be.
ever.
Yeah, just little waves as the alien family from Mac and
Fair
Me
enough.
goes by. The other version I had was the paraplegic kid in that movie is still friends with Mac, and he keeps dying at the end of every episode, like Kenny from South Park.
Oh my god.
And the aliens have to resurrect him at the end of the episode. And by the end of the series, the aliens get sick and tired of him dying all the time and them resurrecting his ass. They say, "Fuck you, we're done. We're going back to our home planet."
Wow.
Well,
That's the harsh version.
I'm ready to call up Hanna-Barbera and get that.
Get that
Rolling right now.
Is
Me
Hanna-Barbera still in business?
I think that's a great idea. They're owned by somebody.
Yeah. Hanna and Barbera.
No, both those people are dead. So I think that's all we got for the first episode of the Why Is This a Cartoon Cast? Thanks for checking it out. Next week we'll definitely have something different.
Yeah.
But for now, I'm Joey.
I'm Tim.
I'm Chris.
See you later, guys.
Mm.